All right, AMC is gearing up to do battle with DirecTV. The satellite TV service plans to launch premium video on demand, offering movies as early as 1 month after their theatrical debut. Now, that move to make movies available in homes earlier has theater chains threatening the Hollywood studios. Now, AMC, the second largest chain in the U.S., says its theaters won't run movies as scheduled, those movies that are scheduled for that accelerated on-demand release. Now, Gerry Lopez is the president and CEO of AMC Entertainment, joining us from Kansas City. Gerry, everything that's ever added to movie distribution that movie distributors have complained about, from television to videotapes to Netflix, seems to have been good for theaters. Why would this be bad?
We just don't think, Cory, that this is the right way to go about solving what is really a big issue for the industry, and that is the declining revenues in the home distribution channel. Throughout the history of exhibition, throughout the history of the movie business in this country, we've developed a system that benefits all of the players, the consumers first and foremost, but the studios and the exhibitors and all of those that play in so many of the other alternative channels. Over the years, we've developed different ways that have granted success to all of us. This latest solution that some have come up with, dubbed the premium video on demand window, we just don't think has the kind of potential that is going to be required to solve what is really a big issue, and that is what's been happening in the home video channel. The one distribution method, the one distribution channel for movies that has continued to grow, as you indicated, has been the theatrical channel. It is healthy. It has its ups and downs based on the movies, of course, but by and large, it is the highest quality, highest revenue channel for all of the players involved in movie making. To in any way jeopardize the health of that channel to try and fix what may be happening in a different channel distribution just doesn't make a lot of sense to us.
Well, what's the right time period then? Like, how long should the theaters get the exclusive right to movies that makes it commercially viable?
The established practice today, it's about 120 days, give or take. You know, every movie is a little different, and there's no hard set guidelines or anything else like that. But if you look at the established behavior pattern over the last couple of 3 years, it averages out to about 115, 120 days or so. We believe that that's about the right amount of time. We've tested on some movies at something a little earlier, 90 days. That has worked, you know, kind of okay. Depends on the content, depends on the movie. We think that the right way of going about this, and what we have proposed to the studios, is that think of the premium video on demand window as being viable 30 days prior to the DVD release. So if you have a 120-day DVD release, something in the 90-day neighborhood will be the correct window, we think, for the premium video on demand. Those are conversations that are ongoing. We'll see what happens. At this point, there's been a lot of different announcements and a lot of interviews and a lot of things said and a lot of ideas exchanged, but we haven't really seen any of this premium video on demand come to pass as of yet.
Gerry, the reality is you're facing a steep decline in attendance, down 20% this year. How are you going to convince people to leave their homes, leave their iPads, leave their television sets to go back to the movies? How do you get people to go back to the movies?
The way that we intend to do it, Emily, is the way that we've always done it, and that is with great movies. And you're quite correct. This quarter that we're about to close in another couple of weeks has been very difficult for all of us, for the studios and for all of the exhibitors. It's the old adage about, you know, last year we had a great quarter. We had 2 movies in the first quarter of last year that did fantastic. Avatar, biggest movie of all time, and then Alice in Wonderland came out in March of last year, biggest movie in the history of March. Fantastic. It opened up to $116 million in its opening weekend. We haven't seen openings like that, frankly, since. We've had a couple, but that was just outstanding performance. We have both of those in one quarter. None of the movies that we've had in this quarter come even close to the kind of volume that Avatar and Alice generated. We had some other movies that
Gerry, if you don't show those movies that are supposed to go on demand in 4 to 6 weeks, as you say, aren't you worried you're going to miss out on key movies, on good movies?
We'll have to see how it plays out. The movies to be key movies, the movies to be big movies, need to also be shown in the theaters. The relationship between the studios and the exhibitors, it's pretty symbiotic. No movie can be big if the exhibitors don't show it. No exhibitor can be successful if he doesn't have a movie to show. So it really works both ways. Big movies need us. We need the big movies. It's the way it's worked. It's the way it's worked historically.
Gerry, you also need cash when it comes to doing all the digital build-out, the 3D, the things that the studios would kind of like to put a different kind of movie in the theater. If the movies, the studios go ahead with this accelerated, on-demand, premium, whatever you want to call it, after 4 weeks, will that crimp your ability to roll out IMAX, 3D, and other sort of digital CapEx spending that you've got planned?
Well, that's a great question, Cory, and that's exactly what the issue is. We don't know. We don't anticipate that anything that curtails the current window that we operate in will be of any help. So, of course, that's a potential outcome as to what may happen here. Some of the timelines, to be clear, that have been discussed are nothing like 4 weeks. I mean, some people are talking about 6. There was some mention of 4 once. Really, the timeline that has been most widely discussed between studios and exhibitors and in the community at large has been closer to 60 days. The research that has been done by us as well as by the studio community indicates that, yes, there will be some impact on potential attendance on any given piece of product. It's measured in the low single digits, so it's nothing like what we're experiencing right now, and that's more driven by content. Anything, however, that hinders our ability to grow the attendance and bounce back, for example, from the kind of quarter that we're having right now, will in fact, as you can well imagine, slow down our rollout of 3D, our rollout of IMAX, and some of the new technologies that, frankly, at the end of the day, is what keeps bringing people out of the home and into the theater.
Gerry, thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. Gerry Lopez, the CEO of AMC.